Oh, hey guys, how are you today? You're probably wondering why I'm carrying all of these supplies. Well, I'm actually getting ready to take them all to my friend. They're gonna love them. There's Mountain Dew and peanut butter and Skittles and some jelly beans and some sour cream and onion chips. Oh, they're gonna be so excited. And this actually reminds me of something that happened in Philippians 2. Pastor Josh preached on that this past week. You see, in Philippians 2, it talks about this guy by the name of Epaphroditus. Whoa, that's kind of a fun name to say. Let's say it together. Epaphroditus. All right, once you press pause and practice saying that name. Here it is one more time. Epaphroditus.
Did you try it? Say Epaphroditus. Now try this tongue twister. Epaphroditus to Delilah said ate extravagant eggs.
Do you guys remember where Paul was when he was writing the letter to his friends in Philippi?
Where was Paul when he wrote the letter to the Philippians? On vacation? At home? Or in jail?
If you said that he was in jail, you sure did remember. Nice job. You see, Paul was under house arrest in the city of Rome, which is a really long way from his friends in Philippi where he's writing the letter to. And that was really hard for him because in order for him to be able to have the things that he needed, he had to have people bring them to him. And luckily, his friends in Philippi were willing to help him out. They collected money and they collected supplies, but they had to figure out how to get it to him.
How do you get a present to a friend?
If you remember, they didn't have cars, they didn't have trucks, they didn't have planes, they didn't have trains or any of those kinds of things to get them there quickly. They had to walk all of that way to take all of those things to Paul so that he could survive. So, this guy by the name of Epaphroditus that we talked about earlier, kind of a fun name to say, isn't it? Let's say it again together. Epaphroditus. But he made the sacrifice because he loved Paul so much and he loved Jesus so much that he was going to be willing to serve and make that very, very long journey to take all of the supplies and all of the money to Paul so that he could live while he was in prison.
Would you want to walk 800 miles to give a present to your friend?
You see, Epaphroditus, he had a really, really hard time getting there. He actually got so sick on the trip that he almost died. Would you be willing to sacrifice for one of your friends, even to the point of death because you love them that much, and more importantly, that you love Jesus that much?
Would you be willing to do something hard for a friend? For Jesus?
You see, Epaphroditus was quite the servant for Paul. And not only for Paul, but he loved Jesus. And he was willing to sacrifice in order to go and take Paul all of these supplies and all of this money, so then that way he could have the things that he needed while he was under arrest. You see, Paul loved Epaphroditus. He honored him when he got there, and in the letter he talked about how he was his friend and he was his co-worker and he was his fellow soldier, and it was so cool the way that he honored him with all of his friends. So I just want to take some time to challenge you this week. How can you be more like Epaphroditus? How can you love your friends the way that he loved Paul? And how can you love Jesus the way that they both loved him? You guys have a great week. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Who will you be a good friend to this week?